There's a little bit of manipulation that we're doing behind the scenes that our test does not cover. So I want us to cover it right now. Remember, we are storing this and we are making sure that we actually store it in the correct file path, but we are not asserting or making sure that we actually store exactly the same file path in our database. So we're going to assert that the database has an image URL field which matches exactly the same way we want to store it in our database. So we'll have series / new series title.png. Okay, because we're uploading to the series directory and we are string slugging the title and we are saving it as a PNG, right? So this should exist in our database if everything actually works correctly, right? So let's run that. Yeah, we have a failure because it doesn't find that field. Because if we head over to our upload series method, right here what we're doing is simply assigning the image URL to the file name. But what we want to do is actually make sure that we precise that we want to save it in a series directory, right? So if we run that test now one more time, now it's successful, but we didn't pick this up. Okay, so now that we've covered that point in our test, I'd like us to write some few more tests just to make sure everything works as expected. So we're going to write another test to make sure that if the image is not uploaded, the other fields do just fine. So public function test an image is not required to update a series. Okay, so how would this look? Pretty much exactly the same thing, but we are not going to be uploading the image. So we'll disable exception handling for better error, then log in the user as an administrator, create a series, fake the storage. Then we need to make that post request. So we'll make the post request, but this time around we're not going to pass the image. So I'll pull out the image field and then we'll assert that we are directed, assert that the session exists. And now about asserting for our storage, what we're going to do is we're going to assert that that file does not actually exist. Now, how do we check if this file is actually missing? We're going to say assert missing method should be used rather than the assert exist. Okay, and Laravel actually provides this for us. Really cool. So we are going to assert that when we are updating that series, there is no image that is uploaded. And finally, let's assert that the database does not have an updated image, but it has an updated title, obviously. So right down here, we're going to assert database has, for the series table, a slug with a new title. That's what we want. So we don't want our image URL field to change. We want it to remain the same. Therefore, we are going to assert that the database has a series with this same image URL. Okay, meaning it did not change at all. We still have exactly the same image. Yes, so this field is not updated because we don't want to upload any image and we want everything to succeed as usual without the image. Okay, let's run this test. Would filter to this one, run that, and it's successful. Okay, because we are still updating the title description without the image field uploaded, and we actually already took care of this in our code. Yes, so one last test we can actually write is make sure that the title is required to update a series, to also make sure that the description is required. But in the next video, I want to actually do a little bit of refactor because I have too many lines in my controller, which I'm not comfortable with. And I'm actually having duplicate methods in my request classes. For example, we have this upload series image in this class and in exactly the other class for create series image. So we're going to take care of that in the very next video. Great job.